As you might already know, the hip-hop community suffered a major loss this past month following the shooting that led to the death of Young Dolph. Dolph had countless fans all over the world who bumped his music. He also had one of the more respectable grinds in hip-hop, being an independent artist like he was. It truly came as a shock and hit really hard when we heard that he was no longer alive in the world. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. Be sure to watch until the end of the video to find out why Dolph really ended up losing his life. Who was Young Dolph? Born on July 27th, 1985, Adolph Thornton Jr. would go on to take the hip-hop world by storm under the rap name Young Dolph. Dolph spent the majority of his life in Memphis, Tennessee, although he was actually born in Chicago. The people around Dolph claim that his passion for music came at a very young age, and he was actually known locally as a rapper for quite some time before he made it big globally. Dolph's first tape to make it big was probably his Paper Route campaign mixtape, which made its debut in 2008. He would later go on to make his own independent label a few years later using the same name, Paper Route Empire. Now his big break came in 2014. This was when his name became known around the world and he was officially making a name for himself as a rapper. It was around that time that other artists began looking at him as a rising star and hoping to get their hands on his talent.
One thing that I know for sure, and I've been knowing this for a long time, you kill your haters with success.
As you might already know, Yachty, another Memphis legend, even tried to get Dolph to sign with him, but Dolph was always adamant about staying independent, so it was a no-go. Which left things a bit tense with Gotti, but Dolph didn't care. He had his own money to worry about. Jump 1 year ahead to 2015, and Dolph's world just continues to get bigger. This was when he got to hop on the track Cut It by OT Genesis, which went viral immediately. And I mean super viral. The music video is currently at around 233 million views on YouTube alone. In 2016, Dolph named himself as the King of Memphis when he dropped his LP by the same name. That album debuted in the top 50 of the Billboard 200 chart, and it seemed like there was nowhere to go but up for Dolph. Sadly, after a few close brushes with death and being involved in multiple shootings of which he was the target, he would stop being so lucky, and in November of this year, Young Dolph was taken from us after being shot at one of his favorite spots in Memphis. The death of Young Dolph. It was November 17th of this year when the Memphis police confirmed that rapper Young Dolph had been gunned down in his own city. Apparently, Dolph had been visiting his home city of Memphis and he wanted to stop by one of his favorite spots in the city. A small bakery by the name of Makita's Butter Cookies, which is located in southern Memphis. According to Dolph, this was one of his favorite spots to visit when he was back in the city. As a matter of fact, it was only a week before the shooting occurred that Dolph posted about the shop on his social media accounts. In the video, you can see him showing the cookies that he ended up grabbing while letting his fans know that Makita's Bakery was one of the only reasons that he still came back to Memphis. The video then pans over to get a good, clear view of the storefront, in case anyone wanted to try the cookies out. Only a week after posting that video, it seems like Dolph wanted to get his hands on some more cookies, so he went back to the bakery. The person who sold the cookies to Dolph said that he had just stopped by to grab two things real quick when things went wrong. At some point, while Dolph was inside the bakery, a vehicle pulled up and two men hopped out, both of which were captured on surveillance cameras and can be seen wielding automatic weapons. Before Dolph could react in any way, it was too late. The gunmen put pressure on the triggers and bullets began to fly through the air. The men would end up fleeing the scene before the police could get there. By the time police arrived, Dolph had already been killed. Dolph was pronounced dead at the scene at the age of 36.
Our preliminary investigation reveals the victim is Adolph Robert Thornton Jr. This shooting is another example of the senseless gun violence that we have seen far too often locally and nationwide.
Why was Dolph targeted? So why did someone want to kill Young Dolph? Well, honestly, there are a bunch of possibilities. Some speculate that it might have something to do with the beef that Dolph had in the music industry with rappers like Gotti or Soulja Boy. Though that seems unlikely, it's just too messy. Besides, Yachty would be a really easy suspect considering the fact that the police believe one of his artists, Black Youngsta, was involved in another shooting against Dolph, though Youngsta denies the allegations. Another reason could have been that he posted about the location on his social media where I'm sure some of his ops could see it. Then all it would have taken was for one of them to keep an eye out for Dolph and then let the shooters know when they see him. That's why it's so risky to be posting personal things like that on social media when you know people are gunning for you. It's very similar to the Pop Smoke situation where he let too much information slip about where he was and then things went south. There are even a few people who believe that Dolph was being followed that day, and the people following him were simply waiting for a good opportunity to open fire. And when he was out of his car in the bakery, they took the chance. It's honestly hard to say exactly why he was targeted, and to be honest, absolutely no one can be certain until police have someone in their custody. And even then, it's still only allegations until the suspect admits to the crime, or the evidence is overwhelming and they are convicted. All I know is, it's a scary world out there, and it really pays to be safe. And watch what you post about yourself on social media. You never know who is watching.
So I just feel like, oh, this is how I'm moving. Cause I know I got people that don't like me. Plenty of them. This ain't just started. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been having haters, big haters since I was 15, 16.
Final thoughts. All we can really say is, rest in peace to Young Dolph. He was one of those artists that are going to be referred to as a legend with a number of people who loved him and his music. Be sure to keep his family in your thoughts. They're going through a really tough time right now, especially with it being the holiday season. Hopefully, the police will be able to find the shooters soon. For now, be sure to subscribe to stay in tune with all of our hip-hop news and information. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on our next upload. Until next time, stay safe out there.